Hi everyone, this is Michelle Wedertz and I'm here for the Hip Kit Club to share with you a new layout that I created with the April main scrapbook kit only. So I used just the main scrapbook kit only to create this layout. And today I'm going to show you a couple techniques, and older ones, that I put to use on my layout today. One of them was I'm going to use some border punches as well as add some machine sewing to my page. Now, when I went through the great purge of all my punches, my border punches are ones that I kept because I thought they were a timeless sort of element and something that didn't take up too much space in my stash. And so I'm happy that I've done that and I use those quite frequently. So I'm going to show you a little quick way you can use those on your layout, as well as some simple stitching that you can add to your projects, whether or not it's with a sewing machine or even just by hand. So first things first, I am again working with just the main scrapbook kit, and I am trying to decide what kind of a layout I want to do with this picture of my daughter from the beach. Now, I kind of have it in mind. I want to do a variation on sort of a grid layout. I'm going to pair my photo with something similarly shaped on the side of it. It could have been just a piece of pattern paper, but I went ahead and used one of these really fun tags that come in the kit, and they're from the new Paige Evans collection from Pink Paisley. So I was happy to get to put those to use. And they also have some stitching detail along the side. So even if you don't really like adding sewing to your layouts on your own, that element actually had some stitching done to it. So you could easily include that detail without having to do any work at all. So now that I've kind of chosen the tag that I want to go with the photo, I'm going to go ahead and start picking through some pattern papers to see what colors I want to go ahead and include in my layout. Now, in the photo, my daughter is wearing a dark blue bathing suit, so I'm going to make sure and include that in my layout. But the rest is sort of a blank canvas, just deciding on which way I want to go with that, with the colors in my layout. So um, I have it in my mind that I'm gonna use little squares because I'm actually gonna throw in a second punch, and it's gonna be my square punch. I think it's like a 2 by 2 inch square punch that I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna punch little pieces of pattern paper and then layer them on the bottom half of my grid kind of inspired layout. So that's why in this instance I am actually picking so many different colors of pattern paper because I'm going to use several squares on my layout. And I'm going to go ahead when I do something like this. I like to punch maybe 2 or 3 out of each color. That way I can enough that I can play with the arrangement of my papers on my paper and get something that I really like. Now for this, what I kind of have in my mind is that I really want to go with kind of like the pinks and the blues. So on this first piece of pattern paper, I'm going to go ahead and punch a couple squares from this paper because it matches the tag that I'm pairing with my photo. So you'll see me go through here and punch out several squares and just plop them onto my paper. Now I really love the mix of pattern papers that are in the kit this month. I usually love the mix of pattern papers, but I was pretty excited to see some new things from Chamel's new line, as well as Paige Evans's new line. I just really enjoy the colors in all of them. I know a lot of them have pink, different shades of pinks, but they have that beautiful purple and that really nice light blue. And I think those are just really a really good mix of colors, and I'm happy to see them together all in this kit. Um, Now, one of the things I like to do when I'm picking pattern papers and which ones I want to use, I want to make sure I have a good mix. I don't want to pick pattern papers that are too similar. By too similar, I mean, obviously by too similar in color scheme. But a little less obvious is I'm looking at the patterns on the paper. I want a mix of them. I want small things, I want big things, different shapes. I don't really want them to be terribly different. So we went ahead and jumped ahead because it takes me entirely too long to glue down paper. I was showing you there a moment ago that I use some mist droplets on my paper, and I actually chose one of the pink color mists that were in the March color kits. It's a really beautiful pink color, and I was happy that it went so well with April's kit. So that was kind of a nice surprise. So I went ahead and dropped those in a diagonal line across my layout, where I kind of think I'm going to have my along the lines of where my photo, my journaling, and my title will go. It's going to be kind of a diagonal line, and that's why I put those ink droplets there. So as you can see, I finally pulled out my border punches, and what I've done is gone ahead and punched out one border strip in a nice dark pink color, and that is going to be on my left side of my layout, kind of as just an extra element. Now I went ahead and punched out in a different shape a border strip in the same cardstock that my paper is. I cut my pages down in 9 by 12, so I always have that 3 by 12 scrap, and I always keep it because you'll never know if what I want to do with it. In this instance, I kept that and cut out a nice little border strip in white. Now, the reason why I did this was because I'm going to have this space in between my photo and the color blocks below it, and it's kind of too empty and it looks a little disconnected. So by placing this white border strip there, I'm going to fill that space. But because I cut it out of the same background paper that I used, it's going to be a minor detail. It's not going to stick out as much as, say, the pink border strip on the left, but it's going to be there, and it's going to fill that space very, very subtly, and add a little bit more texture and interest to that area there. I could have filled it with journaling, but I really didn't have that much to say on this particular page because I'll write more about what we did that day somewhere else. So I went ahead and filled that in there. So now that I have the basic design of what my layout's going to do, I'm going to go ahead and start deciding where I want to put my embellishments. Now, typically, when I do this, I'm always looking for 3 different places I can put my embellishments. An obvious place is first by the photo. Another one is going to be by a title because I want you to go from one area to the next area. So a good way of doing that is to go ahead and embellish those areas. But, like they say, things are better in groups of 3 because then you're moving your eye around like sort of in a triangle, I guess an imagined triangle. So I'm going to find a third spot, and that place can be pretty much anywhere, but I'll play around with that to decide exactly where I want to go. Now, you don't always have to do the triangle thing. Basically, my best piece of advice I've ever heard is just to follow a line. It could be a diagonal line. You could have your embellishments going all straight up or straight across. You could have them going just in a pure diagonal line. But for this particular layout, I'm going to go ahead and go around my layout so that you can it'll move the eye around the page in the shape of a triangle. So, as you can see, I was looking at my phone. My phone's always there with me, and I usually have my dates written on sticky notes for my projects, but sometimes I can't find those sticky notes, so I had to pull out my phone to go ahead and look at, figure out exactly what date this was, because I am deciding where I want to put my journaling, which is going to be here at the very bottom right-hand corner, and it's going to be at the end of that line where I put the mist, because as I said earlier, I dropped that mist in a diagonal line from the photo down to the right-hand corner, and that is going to be where I'm going to put my journaling. And then eventually my title, as well as some embellishments, are going to go just above that area. So that mist alone will move your eye along the page. So you always have these different things working together. You have a triangle, I've got the mist going down. I know it's kind of, it's just, I don't even think about that when I'm making something most of the time, but that's basically what it is. It's just something I automatically do because I've done it so many times. So I like to write my journaling in two different ways. Sometimes I write it on my layouts like I am here, and I always use a ruler when I write because I can't stand it if my writing is crooked and I cannot write straight unless I have a ruler. So that's why I use a ruler. It's just a personal thing. um, or sometimes I type it on my typewriter. I will also do that, but lately I seem to be liking to write on my traditional layouts and type on my pocket pages. So I do a mix of those two things. So here I'm going to look through the embellishments that are in the kit. In the main scrapbook kit for April, I have several fun options. I have more tags. I also have that really cool sheet of enamel, sparkly hearts and stars and circles. I also have this really cool chipboard set. It's from Paige Evans' newest line, and it has a really good mix of icons and phrases and fun little details that you can add to your page. Step for this page that you're not going to see is I'm going to run it through my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch along the border on my left as well as a few other places on my page just to add a little bit of more detail. So thanks for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoyed watching my process video. Have a good day.